Normally I talk to you about crypto, like what to buy, why, and how to take profits. But today I'm going a bit deeper. I need to talk to you about the system, not just the education system, not just the economy. I'm talking about the entire structure that me and you live in. The algorithm-driven, government-compromised, media-fueled machine that's controlling everything we do and telling us how to live. This video might get some hate, but it's important, and I promise you, if you stay with me until the end, you'll walk away with clarity about the world you're living in and an actual framework to take back control of your life. Part 1. The system is designed to control you. The current system you live in, it was designed over a century ago by people like Henry Ford and Andrew Carnegie, people who were involved in the Industrial Revolution. And what exactly did they want? They didn't want a world of entrepreneurs and creators. They wanted workers. So they built an education system designed to produce obedient employees, good little sheep, people who would show up at 9 a.m. and leave at 5 p.m, take orders and not question authority. Well, you can imagine the working hours back in the day, and conditions were much worse over a century ago. Does that sound about right? Because that's still the structure you're in right now. From school, you're told to sit still, follow the rules, memorize what you're told, then you're graded based on how well you do that. You're rewarded for conformity, not creativity, not independence. And then, once you're through that system, you're handed off to another one that trains you to take on debt, to buy a house you don't truly own, to work 40 plus years just to retire with maybe enough to scrape by. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's just how the system was built and how it continues to function. It frustrates me that I didn't leave school financially literate, because I know if I'd have continued to invest from 18 years of age to 40, I would have been retired at 40 or had the freedom of choice. But the system, as you probably know, doesn't want me and you financially free at 40. Part 2. Politicians and influencers aren't here to save you. So who's running this system now? I don't know who's actually running the system at the very top, and we'll just leave it there. All I can tell you is what I know with the information at hand. Politicians are so deep in debt they can't fix anything, and influencers who scream tax the rich with no real plan behind it are not going to save you on me. Let's talk politicians first. They're not problem solvers, they're marketers. Their job is to get re-elected, not fix the underlying systems. For me, they have their own selfish agendas and are looking to help me or you. Just my opinion, by the way. They'll say tax the rich, but here's the truth. If you drive wealth out of your country, what happens next? The rich move to tax havens. Countries like Dubai or Singapore, Monaco, even Portugal, they welcome them with open arms. The money leaves, and then what? The country's still in debt, and the people who needed help still don't get it. And the people who've gone have taken their businesses and jobs for the likes of me and you away to a different country. Now let's talk about influencers. There are some smart people online, people like Gary Stevenson, who understand economics, but even they sometimes fall into the trap of giving oversimplified solutions. Saying just tax the rich doesn't account for how globalized the world is now. We're not in the 1950s anymore. The rich can move in a day. You want a real solution, it has to be about empowering the individual. Empowering you. On my banner you'll see the words education, mindset and investing, and I genuinely feel that education solves a lot of our problems. Not the type of education we get at school. I'm talking about taking matters into your own hands. Like, imagine you became financially literate in your early 20s. Fast forward 20 years and you have financial freedom. Then you have the time to spend with your family and friends, and you also have time to make a positive difference to society if you're that type of person, to give back. This is what I'm planning on doing when I get that financial freedom. I'm pushing hard for. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say, as always, that this video doesn't contain any financial advice. I'm just trying to help you with my 24 years experience as an investor. Part 3. The truth about the wealth gap. Let's talk about money. Right now, at this moment in time, the wealth gap is bigger than ever. Working class families can barely keep up. 50 years ago, one person working could support a family. Now, even two people working full time are struggling to pay rent, to pay the bills. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, I'm not a caveman, and I don't think all women would want to be at home looking after the house, the kids, but I know for a fact that Mrs. Duffy would love to be a stay-at-home mum, but we can't afford her to be at the moment. The middle class, they've got a temporary win. Many bought homes and built equity, but with inflation, rising mortgage rates and economic instability, they're getting squeezed all the time. And that wealth, it's all flown upward to the people who understand how money actually works. This is why I'm always telling people on this channel and in my school community why it's so important to focus on education. I honestly believe financial literacy eventually leads to financial freedom. Anyway, if you want to join my school community, see below for the link. Let me break it down. Banks don't lend you money out of kindness. They lend you money because they know you'll pay back much more than what you borrowed in the first place. Let's say you're fortunate enough, £250,000 home, but you're paying back at least £500,000 over the term of the mortgage because of interest rates. You think you own your own home? You don't. The bank does. And who funds the bank? The rich. So guess what? The rich get paid every single month. You make a mortgage payment. That's how the system is rigged. It rewards ownership. It rewards investment. It does not reward hard work, unless that hard work is tied to ownership or leverage. If you have spare money, invest that money into assets that will help to protect your wealth, your financial future. Part 4, the real solution, education. So what do? We start with education, but not the education system that exists today, because that's part of the problem. We need a new model, one that's personalized, one that asks, what are your strengths? What do you love doing? What problem do you want to solve in the world? Personally, I see a total lack of financial literacy in society. That's why I have this YouTube channel and my school community to help as many people as I can. This kind of thinking isn't happening in the classrooms at school, but it's happening online, on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and on podcasts. You can literally teach yourself business, sales, investing, marketing for free. But here's the key. You need to be intentional about your algorithm, because your feed is your education. If you follow toxic influencers telling you the world is hopeless, you'll believe it. If you follow people teaching you how to build, how to grow, how to create value, your life will change for the better. Let me give you a personal example. My main interest is investing wise is crypto, and I'm very mindful of the YouTube videos I watch. One of my go-tos is Raoul Pal, so I watch all of his videos, but I'm not just listening and then forgetting about it or humping and dumping like you used to do at school. I'm listening, taking notes, and actively trying to learn the info, because I know it will lead financial literacy and eventually financial freedom. Let me know your best crypto channel or investing channel below in the comments, and we can compare notes. Part 5, entrepreneurship is the exit. Now let's talk about the real game changer. Entrepreneurship, and no, I don't mean becoming the next Elon Musk. I don't mean launching a billion-dollar tech startup. I mean taking what you love doing. You love painting, sell your art, teach online, start a YouTube channel about your process. I love crypto investing and I practice what I preach, because I've started a YouTube channel documenting my journey towards financial freedom, and my intention is to help other people, other investors along the way. You love football? Coach kids, start a blog, stream commentary. You love walking dogs? Build a local brand, scale it with other walkers, create content to grow. This is entrepreneurship, the modern type, the art of making a living doing something that gives your life meaning. The truth is, everyone can do this. Yes, even if you're shy, even if you're introverted, even if you've failed before, because it's not about being perfect, it's about ownership, owning your time, your energy, your value. Part 6, how to start right now. So, where do you start? Define what success looks like to you. For me, it's financial freedom, so I can do more of what I love with the people I love. Success for you is not what society says, not what school said. What do you want your life to look like? Write down what you love doing. It can be simple: cooking, gaming, helping people. Start with what you enjoy. I know a few gamers in my family, and I've told them to start a gaming channel on YouTube, but they won't entertain it. Figure out what problems you care about solving, because when you solve real problems, you create real value. Learn the skills. YouTube, free courses, books, podcasts. There's no excuse anymore. Build your offer, a product, a service, a skill, something people will pay for. I have a product and it's investing courses in my school communities. You get it for free in my stocks and shares community, but simple crypto investing is a small monthly fee. Learn to sell it. Selling isn't manipulation, it's just telling the truth well. It's storytelling, it's connection. Start small, then grow. One customer, then 2, then 10. That's how every big business begins. I'm not telling you to do something I wouldn't. I'm telling you what I'm doing or trying to do with YouTube, YouTube and school. I want to help, yes, and if I can make it my full-time income, it's a bonus. All I would say is to try and be open-minded. Anything is possible. Summary. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but let me ask you this. Is it easy to work in a job you hate, to stress about bills, to feel like you're stuck in a system that doesn't care about you? I'll be honest, I'm working my ass off to get out of that system. I know because I'm open-minded, I'm positive, and I always try to do my best. I know I'll get financial freedom. I believe it with everything I've got. I want the same for you. So get some of the videos on this channel watched and let's build wealth together. If you look below, I'll leave a video in there that will help you to beat the rat race. If you're like me and you feel stuck in the system and you don't want to work until you're 65 or even 70, don't wait for governments to fix this. Don't wait for a handout. Take back your power. Build a life on your own terms. Educate yourself, create, share, sell, grow, because you don't need to be born rich. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. If this video resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thanks for watching.